Massive security to disrupt the Olympic torch lighting ceremony in Greece. Two men who were protesting against the violence in Tibet managed to unfurl a banner. The torch has now begun its journey through 20 countries. It's due to pass through Tibet and to the summit of Mount Everest before arriving in Beijing for the Games opening on August the 8th. Clive Myrie is in Olympia. Clive.
John, these torch lighting ceremonies usually pass off without a hitch. They're pretty routine things taking place before every winter and summer games. But this time, many people predicted there would be trouble, and that's exactly what happened. This was supposed to be a proud moment for the Chinese, as the official countdown to their Olympics begins. But the decision to award Beijing the 2008 Games was always controversial. Today, while the president of the Beijing Organizing Committee addressed dignitaries before the lighting of the Olympic torch, protesters made their move. Greek television cut to a wider shot to try and avoid showing what was going on, and Chinese state television didn't show any of this at all. But a closer look reveals a protester trying to unfurl a flag. He's from the organization Reporters Without Borders, a group that campaigns for press freedom. The rest of the torch lighting ceremony then passed off without incident. But later, as the torch was being carried down Olympia's main street, visible just above this blue van, one woman tried to block its path.
Stop killing in Tibet!
Another protester unfurled a Tibetan flag.
Stop killing in Tibet!
The security services acted quickly. Thousands of extra officers had been drafted in to deal with trouble. These were not mass protests. The campaigners were few in number, but they were vocal and passionate.
Stop killing in Tibet!
The flame now begins a journey from Olympia of 85,000 miles, taking around 130 days and covering 5 continents. It will arrive in the Chinese capital in August in time for the Summer Games. But Tibet could be a flashpoint, and demonstrations are expected in London too. It was all today. In Kathmandu, hundreds were arrested. Again, the protests were over Tibet. But Darfur and Burma are also places where many believe the Chinese could do more to promote human rights, but are doing nothing. The Olympic flame is usually a powerful symbol of peace and brotherhood, but for many, this time round it will symbolize repression and a lack of human rights. Now the flame has been lit. Protests and demonstrations will dog the 2008 Olympics right to the very end. So an embarrassing day for the Greeks. How did those protesters break that very tight security cordon to get into the official ceremony? And the Metropolitan Police will be watching today's events very closely because, of course, that Olympic torch reaches London on April the 6th. Also, of course, obviously an embarrassing day for the Chinese. Once again, the thorny issue of Tibet has overshadowed their Olympic preparations. John.
Clive, thanks very much.